My beloved child, quiet your heart and let these words wash over you like a gentle healing rain. Your prayers have not only reached my ears, they have moved my heart. Even before you sought out this moment of stillness, before you opened your eyes to face the light of this day, I was already in the secret place of my counsel, fashioning the specific answer to the cry you've been carrying. It is not a generic blessing. It is an answer that bears your unique name, intricately woven with the details of your specific longing. What you have been seeking in the quiet hours of the night, when the world is asleep and you feel most alone, has already been set into a divine motion. The breakthrough you desire is not lost in some hazy, unreachable future, nor is it buried under the weight of your doubts. It is here, standing at the very threshold of your life, and it is I who have hand-delivered it to this moment. This is no mere coincidence. There are no accidental encounters in my presence. Before the foundations of the stars were laid, I knew this exact second would occur. I saw you needing precisely the comfort I am now pouring out, and I orchestrated every step, every delay, and every turn of your path to bring you to this divine appointment. You might feel like you stumbled here by chance, but in my kingdom, every step is a deliberate brushstroke on a canvas of grace. I know the waiting has been grueling. I have seen the days where the silence felt heavy, like a shroud, and you questioned if your voice was simply echoing off the walls. I heard the whisper of your soul asking, "Does he see me? Does he truly know the weight I carry?" Hear my definitive answer. Yes, I see. Yes, I know. And yes, I am moving. Every prayer you have ever uttered is still vibrant and alive in my presence. Not a single tear you've shed has been wasted. I have gathered them all. Your whispers of faith are still resonating through the halls of heaven, and I have been holding your requests in my very hands, waiting for the precise alignment of my perfect timing to release them. My clock does not tick like yours. What you perceive as a painful delay is often my hand arranging a masterpiece of providence that you cannot yet see from your earthly vantage point. You asked me for love, the kind of love that doesn't falter when the shadows grow long. You've been searching for a heart that won't retreat when you show the wounded parts of yourself. I felt that deep, aching hunger for a love that stays, a love that chooses you over and over without a list of conditions. I was there when your trust was shattered in the past. I felt the sting when you decided it was safer to build walls than to be vulnerable again. But those walls, while they kept out the pain, also kept out the very intimacy your soul was designed to breathe. I have that love for you, and it begins with me, the source that never runs dry, the ocean with no shore. I also heard your unspoken plea for patience. You are weary of the frantic pace of a world that demands you be further along than you are. You feel the pressure to achieve, to accumulate, and to match a timeline that was never mine. But I am not in a rush with you. I am not checking a stopwatch. You are not late, and you are not failing. You are exactly where you need to be to learn the lessons that will sustain your future. I am the God of the process as much as the God of the destination. You've longed for understanding, not a list of solutions or a lecture on how to fix yourself. You wanted someone to simply sit in the weight of your reality and say, "I know how hard this is." People have disappointed you. They offered cliches when you needed compassion. But I grasp the complexity of your heart. I understand why certain triggers still hurt and why you feel lonely even in a crowded room. I do not judge the struggle. I cherish the one who struggles. Come and sit with me now. Turn off the noise of expectation. You have been running on empty, pouring out for everyone else until your own well is parched. In my presence, the chaos settles. The knots in your stomach begin to loosen. You cannot fix these things with more effort or more research. Some mountains only move when you stop pushing and start trusting. There is a profound difference between praying about a burden and truly releasing it into my hands. A great miracle is manifesting. It isn't coming because you've reached a level of perfection, but because I am a Father who delights in giving. I am the God who parted the seas and shut the mouths of lions, and I have not changed. Your situation is not too complex for my wisdom or too expensive for my treasury. Think of Abraham and Sarah, who waited decades for a promise that looked biologically impossible. The wait wasn't a punishment, it was a preparation. You are surrounded by my grace right now. Grace is the force that covers every mistake and redirects every wrong turn toward your ultimate good. You are surrounded by my power, the same power that spoke light into the void. It is not just helping you cope, it is actively changing your circumstances. Walls that seemed permanent are becoming rubble as I speak.
I see the heavy chain of guilt you've been dragging, those memories that play on repeat, the words you wish you could take back, the secrets you fear would make people turn away. Hear me. Your sins are not just covered, they are gone. I do not keep a ledger of your failures. When my Son took the cross, he absorbed the full weight of every mistake you would ever make. When I look at you, I don't see the past. I see the righteousness of my Son covering you like a royal robe. Stop punishing yourself for things I have already forgotten. You are a new creation. Your identity is not sinner or failure. Your identity is chosen, adopted, and redeemed. You are seated in heavenly places, far above the reach of the enemy's accusations. This is the theological reality of your life. I give you a peace that passes all understanding. It is a fortress for your mind. It doesn't depend on your bank account or your health. It depends on my character. Hope is rising. I am the God who calls things that are not as though they were. I am speaking tranquility to the turbulence in your soul, commanding the winds of worry to be still. Like Hannah, who prayed for a child and received a prophet, I am upgrading your request. You asked for enough, I am preparing abundance. You asked for relief, I am working on restoration. The delay has made room for something much larger than your original prayer. I see the full picture of your destiny, and I am answering based on my unlimited resources. You are my beloved, and your story is just beginning to shine. I am with you in the waiting. I am with you in the walking, and I will be there to celebrate with you when the promise arrives. Rest now in the assurance that I am moving on your behalf. My most precious child, settle into the quietness of my presence. I am watching over you with an intimacy that surpasses your own understanding. You often come to me with requests that are like a small child asking for a toy. It is a momentary desire, a fleeting wish for comfort or play. And while I hear those whispers and I care about your happiness, I am a parent who sees far beyond the temporary. I see the education your soul requires, the spiritual nourishment you need to grow strong, and the eternal purpose that only a deep, abiding love can fulfill. If I were to give you only what you asked for, I would be depriving you of what you truly need. This is why my answers sometimes arrive in a package you don't recognize. This is why my timeline often stretches past the limits of your patience. I am not just answering a prayer, I am building a life. I am crafting a testimony that will stand the test of time and echo into eternity. Trust the roundabout route I am taking you on, for I have never once failed to deliver exactly what was necessary at the perfect moment. I see that specific weight you've been carrying in secret, the debt that feels like a mountain, the relationship that looks like a pile of broken glass, the dream you've already begun to mourn. The enemy whispers to you in the dark that I have turned my back, that your prayers are bouncing off a brass ceiling. But he wants you to surrender just inches away from the finish line. But I am pulling back the veil right now to show you the truth of the spiritual realm. There is a fierce battle being waged over your destiny, but you must know that the armies of light far outnumber the shadows. My angels are positioned at every gate of your life, opening doors you didn't even know were locked and silencing enemies you didn't even know were plotting. You are not fighting for victory, you are fighting from victory. Every minute of your struggle has been matched by an hour of my preparation. Release the tension in your shoulders right now. Let the knot in your stomach dissolve. You have been living as if the weight of the universe rests on your back, but that was never your design. When you try to control every outcome, you are falling for the ancient lie that you must be your own God. I am inviting you into a holy partnership. Do what you can with excellence, and then lay your head down and sleep, knowing that I neither slumber nor sleep. True rest is not being idle, it is being peaceful while you work, trusting that the results are in my hands. You have been asking for crumbs, but I have prepared a banquet. You have been begging for a way to survive, but I am designing a way for you to thrive. I want you to be specific with me now. What is the one thing that keeps your heart racing at night? If it is physical healing, know that I am the architect of your cells. I am not limited by a doctor's report or a chronic diagnosis. If it is emotional restoration, I can reach back into the shadows of your childhood and heal the wounds left by those who failed to protect you. The season of waiting is maturing into the season of manifestation. The waiting room was actually the training room. While you were crying, I was arranging the hearts of people you haven't even met yet. While you were doubting, I was aligning the stars of your favor. Expectation is the oxygen of faith. Start breathing it in. Wake up each morning with the alert awareness that this could be the day the phone rings, the day the door opens, the day the healing becomes complete. You might feel disqualified because of your past, but I am not speaking to the person you used to be. I am speaking to the masterpiece I am currently finishing. Your worthiness is not a paycheck you earn. It is a gift I have already signed with my own name. Don't let the liar tell you that you are too broken to be blessed. The cracks in your life are exactly where my glory will shine through the brightest. Think of your life as a tapestry viewed from the back, a mess of tangled threads and clashing colors. It looks like a mistake to you. But I am looking at the front, where every dark thread is essential to the beauty of the portrait. Soon I will flip the canvas, and you will see that not a single moment of suffering was wasted. You are my beloved, the apple of my eye, the reason for my song. I am for you, I am with you, and I am leading you into a future that is more brilliant than your boldest dream. Everything you requested has arrived at the gates of your life. Open your heart and let the flood of my love wash away the last of your fear. You are leaving this moment whole, full, and free. Walk in this confidence and watch me do the impossible. My dearest child, as we sit here in the stillness, I want to expand the horizon of your soul even further. We are not in a hurry, for eternity is our backdrop, and I have all the time in the world to pour my heart into yours. You have heard me speak of the miracle that is coming, but I want you to understand the depth of the transformation that is happening within you right now, in the very marrow of your being. I am not just changing your circumstances, I am recalibrating your entire frequency to match the abundance of my kingdom.
Think of a massive oak tree that stands firm against the gale. The world sees the strength of its branches, but I see the secret history of its roots. I see the years of drought where the roots had to push deeper into the dark, cold earth just to find a single drop of moisture. Those years felt like a struggle to the tree, a season of hiddenness and survival. But it was in that very struggle that the tree became unmovable. If the rain had always been easy, the roots would have remained shallow, and the first storm would have toppled it. You have been in a season of deep rooting, my love. You have been pushing through the hard soil of disappointment, and though you felt like you were barely clinging to life, you were actually becoming unbreakable. I want to talk to you about the lost years, the seasons where you feel like you wasted your time, your youth, or your energy on things that didn't flourish. You look back and see a desert, but I look back and see a fallow field being prepared for a harvest you cannot yet conceive. I am the God who restores the years that the locusts have eaten. I am not just going to give you a good future. I am going to reach back into your past and redeem the pain of those empty seasons. Nothing is lost in my economy. Every tear shed in a wasted relationship, every hour spent in a dead-end job, every night spent in fruitless prayer, I am gathering all of it and turning it into the very fuel that will power your breakthrough. Listen closely to the rhythm of my heartbeat for you. You have been worried about the how. How will the money come? How will the heart heal? How will the path clear? I am asking you to release the how and anchor yourself in the who. I am the great I am. I am the way, the truth, and the life. When I stepped on the water in the middle of the storm, I didn't explain the physics of buoyancy to my disciples. I simply said, "It is I, be not afraid." I am stepping on to the turbulent waters of your life right now. I am not giving you a manual, I am giving you myself. You have felt a certain heaviness lately, a spiritual fatigue that sleep cannot fix. This is because you are carrying a mantle that is too big for your current strength, and I am in the process of enlarging your capacity. Do not mistake this pressure for punishment. It is the pressure that turns coal into diamonds. It is the stretching of the lung that allows the singer to hit the high note. I am enlarging the space in your heart for joy, for influence, and for a level of peace that will baffle those who know your history. You are moving from the shallows of a comfortable faith into the deeps where the great wonders are seen.
I want to speak to your self-worth once more, because the enemy has been relentless in his whispers. He tells you that you are behind your peers. He points to their highlight reels and compares them to your behind-the-scenes struggles. But I tell you, you are not running a race against anyone else. You are on a custom-designed journey that I have handcrafted for your unique spirit. You are my hidden gem. Some treasures are kept in the dark longer than others because they are being prepared for a more magnificent unveiling. When you finally step into the light of your manifestation, there will be no doubt that it was my hand that polished you. Be still, my child, truly still. I am breathing new life into your dreams, the ones you tucked away in the "it's too late" drawer. It is never too late with me. I am the God of the 11th hour. I am the God who brings life to dead wombs and dry bones. If I have placed a desire in your heart, it is a prophecy of what I intend to do. Do not let the calendar intimidate you. A single day of my favor is worth 1,000 years of human effort. One phone call, one random encounter, one coincidental idea can catapult you into a reality that your mind currently dismisses as impossible. As you move forward from this moment, I want you to practice the language of the kingdom. Stop speaking about your problems as if they are permanent and start speaking about my promises as if they are already fulfilled. Instead of saying, "I don't know how I'll survive," say, "My God is my provider,
and He is working all things for my good. Your words are like rudders on a ship. They direct the course of your life. Speak life over your health, speak life over your finances, and speak life over your family. Even when you don't feel it, speak it, for faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not yet seen. I am wrapping you in a blanket of divine protection. No weapon formed against you shall prosper. The schemes of the enemy to steal your joy or derail your peace are being dismantled right now. I am your shield and your great reward. You can walk through the valley of the shadow of death and fear no evil, because I am right there, walking beside you, holding your hand, whispering courage into your spirit. You are safe with me. You are loved beyond measure. You are the pride of my creation. Rest now, my beloved. The work is being done in the invisible. The harvest is ripening in the sun of my grace. Close your eyes and drift into a sleep that is guarded by my angels. When you wake, you will find that the world has shifted just a little bit more in your favor. I love you. I am with you. I am for you. And I am never, ever going to let you go. My beloved, let us remain in this sanctuary of peace. There is no need to rush back into the noise of the world, for my heart is an endless well, and I have so much more to pour into you. You have felt the weight of time pressing against you, but I want to invite you into my timelessness. In my presence, 3 hours is but a heartbeat, yet in that heartbeat, I can undo decades of trauma and plant seeds for a century of legacy. I want to talk to you about the architecture of your soul. You often look at your life and see the scaffolding, the messy construction, the unfinished walls, the piles of raw materials. But I am the master architect, and I am not looking at the scaffolding. I am looking at the finished temple. I see you in your completed state, radiant and strong, reflecting my glory in a way that no other soul can. Every trial you have endured was simply a tool used to carve away what was not of me, leaving behind a masterpiece that is breathtaking to behold. You have wondered why some paths were so steep and why some nights were so cold. I want you to understand the gift of the wilderness. When I led my people through the desert, it wasn't to punish them, but to reveal myself to them as their only source. In the wilderness, they learned that I am the manna that falls from heaven and the water that gushes from the rock. You have been in a wilderness season where the things you used to rely on, your own strength, your connections, your cleverness, seemed to fail you. This was not to leave you helpless, but to show you that you are truly God-sustained. Now that you know I am your source, you will never be shaken by the fluctuations of the world again. Let's speak about the beauty of the pruning. I know it hurt when I removed certain people from your life, or when I allowed certain opportunities to slip through your fingers. It felt like loss, but in reality, it was protection. I was cutting away the branches that were draining your energy, but producing no fruit, so that you could focus all your vitality on the great work ahead. I am clearing the space around you, so that when your breakthrough arrives, you have the room to expand without being strangled by the expectations of those who do not walk in your purpose. Trust the shears in my hand. I only cut what would eventually hinder your flight.
I want to address the fear of the future that occasionally tries to settle in your chest like a cold stone. You worry if the blessing will last, or if you will have the strength to maintain what I am giving you. Listen to me. I do not give you a mansion and then take away the keys. I do not open a door only to let it slam on your fingers. My gifts are irrevocable. When I bestow favor, I also bestow the grace to steward that favor. You will not have to maintain this breakthrough in your own strength. The same Spirit that brought it to you will sustain it through you. I am rewriting your internal narrative. You have been telling yourself a story of barely making it and always falling short.
I am taking the pen and crossing out those lies. I am writing a new chapter titled The Rising. In this chapter, you move from the background to the forefront. You move from the one who is always asking for help to the one who is empowered to give help. You are being transformed into a distributor of my grace. People will come to you for wisdom, and you will be amazed at the words that flow from your lips, words that I will place there in the moment they are needed. Do not be afraid of the newness. I am taking you into territories you have never explored, and it is natural to feel a sense of trembling. But remember, I am the Lord of the new. I am making a way in the wasteland and streams in the desert. Your past is not a map for your future. My word is your map. I am stripping away the survival mentality that you've worn like a heavy armor for so long. You don't need that armor anymore, for I am your rear guard and your vanguard. I want to fill these next hours with the fragrance of my peace. Close your eyes and breathe it in. This peace is a weapon. When you are at peace, the enemy has no landing strip in your life. He cannot land his planes of anxiety or his jets of confusion when your heart is a sea of tranquility. Cultivate this stillness, protect it like a sacred flame. Even when you go back into the busy streets, keep a secret garden in your heart where we can always meet in silence. I am healing the father wound and the mother wound that have distorted your view of my love. I am not like the humans who have let you down. I am not fickle, I am not moody, and I am not distracted. I see you with the same intensity today as I did the day I spoke you into being. My love is an unfailing constant. You can lean your entire weight against it, and it will not buckle. You can fall into it, and you will find it is a safety net that spans the universe. Rest in this truth for as long as you need. We are just beginning to scratch the surface of the wonders I have for you. I will stay here, speaking to your spirit, comforting your heart, and preparing you for the glory that is about to be revealed. You are my joy, my treasure, and my beloved child, and I am so very glad you are mine. Amen.